So hello everybody, this is American Sequel Predictions, and I'm back with a new video. Today I'm doing the history of New York State from 1964 to 2020. New York State, very liberal, but upstate's more swing area. Trump was able to win in 2016, he lost in 2020. He still did really well up in the rurals, but Republicans did way worse, actually, than Trump. Trump is actually, I think, one of the better ones in the upstate, especially for being a modern Republican in New York. He did pretty well in upstate. So 1964, Goldwater got slacked hard, mostly because New York loved Johnson. Johnson wanted a lot of ancestral Republican counties in upstate. A lot of that. Every county, basically. Can't believe Goldwater was able to... actually didn't do that bad in Suffolk County, surprisingly. So this 1964 was the last time these counties voted Republican. I'm not really the best at names, but I'll try naming some of them. Hamilton County is actually the only county that voted for this Republican in the 2004 Senate race over Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer won every county except for this one. Surprisingly, it's the most rural. It's really out in the middle of nowhere, but it's not really the most Republican, but I think it's not the most Republican county in the state, but still really Republican. Putnam County, kind of surprised that county's still kind of Republican. It's actually one of the richest counties in New York State. Still kind of surprised it's still pretty Trumpian. Orleans County, actually, this one's also home to my liberal aunt who lives there. She used to live in Montgomery County, Maryland, but I don't know why she moved up here, to be honest. But she is now with a lot of Trump supporters, which is going to be very different from where she used to live. So she might just run across a few Trump flags, probably. Tuga County, I think, also as well. That might have been the last time. Oh, yeah, in this county. I think it was Orleans or something. Well, I think that's what it looked like then. That was basically the last 64's last election in which these counties voted Democrat. Nixon, of course, lost against Herbert Humphrey. Nixon destroyed McGovern. He was the last one to win the Queens. Jimmy Carter, nearly able to win. You can see it was a swing state, kind of. Gerald Ford. But 1976 was just a weird electorate. And it didn't really have that Gerald Ford, basically. It wasn't really the best. He didn't really like New York City, and it was clear he lost. I do think he could have won, in my opinion. I mean, Jimmy Carter definitely, I don't think, had the best appeal in New York, but Reagan won against Carter, but it might have been because John B. Anderson actually, and I think a lot of Democrats that got fed up with Carter probably voted for him. I don't know. Reagan, able to win it by 8 points. That's actually more in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is way more Republican than New York. But 84 again, weird times. Dukakis won it. This is basically the last time it was really a swing county, a Republican campaign there. Dukakis won narrowly. I think Bush I think in my opinion, could have been able to hold on to it, but he didn't really seem to care that much. He basically was I don't have to do really any campaigning. 1992 came around. Bill Clinton beat George Bush, but the environment was really bad for George Bush. Ross Perot took a lot of votes away from Bush. Bush still actually did somewhat well, considering how bad the environment was for Republicans. And it was sadly the last time that Clinton and Columbia County voted Republican. 1996, now this was the worst Republican time. Bob Dole ran it. Overall, wasn't really... I already knew he was going to lose. But... I think he was a nice guy, to be honest. I think that's how he was able to manage to get some states back, like Colorado and Georgia back. But Bob Dole, just weak. He's not really a strong Republican. Bill Clinton, like everyone knew that he was probably going to win. Bob Dole tries best, but yeah. But New York State really wasn't really a fan of Bob Dole at all. They were not liking Bob, even as Jack Kemp was from New York State. He's Bob Dole's running mate. And it was the only 2 times since the Civil War that Crowdish County right here went blue, Chango County. That's it right there. Delaware County is actually one of the really Republican counties up there. And Fulton, I believe it's this county. Jefferson County had some of the Watertown. Ontario, which narrowly voted for Trump barely by like 33 votes. That was the last time I voted Republican. It's kind of like an excerpt of Rochester. Scholar, it's not really populated, and Yates County, which is like right next door. Very small counties. I think is like there's also these other counties that did, but they're not going to show them. Kerr County, Trump did actually, I think, did better than Reagan there, maybe. Lewis County, very strongly Republican there. Ondalia, that's actually quite populated. Kind of surprised that John McCain and Mitt Romney were able to win that county, considering that's more of like a Rust Belt county. It's this county. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but it is pretty Republican now. And that's it for 1964 and 1996. Bob Dole just lost in a blowout. 2000, actually, Bush did mediocre in the county, but last time that Democrat won Montgomery County, so there's that. 2004, Bush this is the last time a Republican was able to crack 40%. Not bad considering that you lost, still wasn't able to win Long Island. He did do well in some parts of the upstate area, but wasn't able to get the full message out. Obama shellacked McCain as was expected. Last time at Chautauqua County. Actually, right next to the Jamestown. I don't think I've been there, but I might have been close to there. Pretty deep, nice county. But, yeah. 2012 was the last time that a lot of counties in upstate voted Republican. Mitt Romney was awful. He wasn't able to appeal to New Yorkers. Hurricane Katrina also helped Obama, and he actually did better than I think he did in 2008. In the county, it was mostly due to Hurricane Sandy. It says right here. This is the last time that Cuyahoga County, I don't know, Cortland County, that's actually a swing county. Voted for Trump. Franklin County, that county was actually voted for Obama by, I think, by 60% more than that, actually. Madison County, it's right here. Niagara County, home to Niagara Falls. Very Rust Belt. Orange County, which narrowly voted for Trump, actually, by like 100 votes or something. Still, technically, Trump still won it, technically. It's not like it's going to be a tie. Oswego County, very Rust Belt-like. Richmond County, a.k.a. Staten Island. Mitt Romney was so bad that he couldn't even win Staten Island. Second County, St. Lawrence County. Now, this county was very Republican. It did have a really big time when Democrats did well. It's very Rust Belt-like. But now it's back in the Republican column. Suffolk County, that county in Long Island, barely voted for Trump. Out of I think almost 600,000 votes casted. Trump only won by 232 votes. Still a win, but very narrow. Savoy County, that is up in right next to Orange in Delaware. That county did vote for Jimmy Carter, surprisingly. Warren County, home to Queensbury. I don't really know a ton about it, but it's Republican now. And Washington County, which is pretty populist county. Pretty big fan of Trump out there. So that's as a... Oh, and I forgot a county right here. Totally forgot about... Oh, and this county, too. Always forget some. So at the end of the day, 41 counties overall voted for Trump. Not bad considering that you didn't really have that much of a good campaign. So, I think Trump did pretty well, especially since he basically gave New York the middle finger, basically, and said, I'm off to Florida, which I think was a good decision. Trump still didn't do that bad, actually, in New York State, considering what's going on. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. American Seagull Predictions.